Hello, welcome to Eagle Public Library. This is our Saturday STEAM class, a little science, technology, engineering, art, and math. My name is Anne, and I have a messy, pretty cool project for us today. This is our foamy sidewalk paint project. And I've already tested it a little bit outside, so I'll post a picture of that. So far, I have made some pink foamy sidewalk chalk paint and a purple, which is really cute. Now I'm going to show you. This is super simple. Should be stuff you probably have around the house. If not, easy stuff to get. So let's get started. Here is my bowl. I've already put a cup of flour. So I just used some all-purpose flour and measured that out and just kind of leveled the top off. So I had 1 cup of flour all ready to go. Then you're going to want 1 cup of water. So let's fill our cup measure with some water. So we've got 1 cup of water to pour in. Kind of looks like we're making pancakes so far. We're going to mix this just a little bit, and now we're going to add a tablespoon, which is that big T, of liquid dishwashing soap. I just used some of this green apple. You can use any kind of the clear, or not clear, but the liquid dishwashing soap. Don't use the detergent that goes in your dishwasher, but use the like the liquid hands, you know what I'm talking about, the liquid dishwashing soap. Okay, so this smells good because it's green apple, but you don't have to worry about that part. So let's get that mixed up. So we've got a cup of water, a cup of flour, a big tablespoon of dishwashing liquid. And yeah, now don't eat this. This will not make good pancakes. But it looks like pancake batter. So I want to stir that up pretty good until all of those lumps disappear out of there. Get it pretty well stirred up. And then the very last thing we're going to do to color this is we are going to use kind of an old-fashioned cheese grater. If you have one handy that you don't mind just kind of throwing in your craft box, I don't think I'd want to use it for food again because we're going to grate up a piece of chalk. So it looks like I got all the lumps out of my chalk paint, and you definitely want to get the lumps out because I noticed when I made the purple one, I had probably some lumps and they got stuck in the little nozzle when I was trying to do my artwork outside, so I had to clean the nozzle out. So the more you get this stirred up and lumps out, the better you're going to be. Now, I want to make this batch yellow. So here's a piece of yellow chalk, and I'm going to use my grater here. Luckily, this one works right over the bowl, and I'm going to just start grating up that yellow chalk. The other one I did a really bright pink piece of chalk, and the purple kind of made on my own with some pink and blue. And that one was a little more chunky. I don't know if I just didn't do a good job of stirring. I have a feeling that's what it was. So we're gonna, I think maybe use about half of this first. This grates really easily. Just watch out for your fingertips and fingernails. I always end up with trying to grate my fingers in there. That doesn't feel good. Okay, so now let's see how this yellow looks. We might need that whole stick. The other ones I used about half a stick of chalk. But to get a nice bright yellow, I think I'm going to use that whole stick. But that's looking pretty good, right? Looks pretty yellow. All right, you can kind of mix colors if you want, like I did with that red and blue to kind of come up with the purple. But if you use a nice, big, thick piece of colored chalk, it'll grate up real easy. And you want it in nice little small bits. You could really take a rolling pin probably, or maybe a hammer and go outside with a heavy-duty plastic bag and kind of smash the chalk up that way too if you don't want to use your fancy grater for chalk. Any way that you can get that pretty fine, because again, we don't want that chalk sticking in the nozzle either, and we want the color to mix in. Now let's see how this looking. Ooh, it's looking good. It's looking real good. Okay, we've got a nice yellowy paste. And it does still have that consistency, I think, of pancake batter. And if you've got that consistency, you've done it right. If it's a little thick, you could thin it out with a little more water, a few drops. But this looks perfect. Definitely pancake batter feel and thickness. Okay, now if you have a funnel, again, that you don't mind using for some crafting, I'm going to put a funnel over my squeezy bottle. You could also pour this into a Ziploc bag and just cut the corner off for doing your artwork, but I think it's going to be a little easier with the squeeze bottle. I didn't try a Ziploc bag, but you can always do that if you don't have any squeezy bottles. Makes a fun way to kind of get that out of the bag. Just cut the corner off. Okay, now we're going to get this all loaded up into the bottle with my funnel. And if it doesn't stick too much in the funnel as it's going down, then you have the right thickness. If it sticks a whole bunch, you could just add a little more water to your mixture and then kind of shake your bottle up just a little bit to get that water to mix in. But this is looking good. It's going down pretty easily. And my paint looks kind of cool. Here it goes into the funnel. And it is filling up the bottle, so I think we're good. I think I got the right consistency. On the purple one too, I think I might have not put enough water. So I did add water about halfway through. It wasn't going down into the funnel, it just kind of stuck. So I added a little water to the mixture that was in the bowl and mixed it up real good, and then added that in, and that seemed to do the trick. Then I just kind of swirled the bottle a little bit to make sure all that water got mixed in. And it worked. So let's get all this in. I do also have a spatula I'm going to use to kind of get all the rest of that. You can see it's kind of clinging in there to the sides of my bowl. I'm going to use a spatula to kind of get all my beautiful yellow chalk paint down inside the bowl. Let me see if I can move this so you can see a little better. There we go. Now we're getting it all into the funnel. I don't want to waste any because this stuff is pretty cool. All right, so if you have newly laid cement or any like fancy kind of cement that's stained or, you know, colored, I would test this out in a spot first. I don't think it's going to leave any coloring on your cement, but I would test it first. I don't want to promise that it won't. So I'm doing this on some older cement here by the library that's been here a long time, and I know it's going to be fine. And it should wash off pretty well because of the dishwashing soap that's in there. And it is only chalk for our color. We didn't put food coloring or anything for our color. So if you know that normal chalk is fine on the cement by your house that you're going to decorate, then you should be just fine because the rest of it's just some water and soap and flour. All right, I'm gonna get all that down in. I love this yellow. It's like sunshine yellow. All right, now I ended up snipping the little top of my lid a little bit deeper and wider because this is pretty thick stuff. So I cut that a little bit. You may need to do that with yours. Also make sure you have a little spot where you can kind of test and squirt it out first before you start your art, because it is a little bit kind of globby at first. You want to get the right pressure on your bottle for the chalk to come out. So I tested it on a different spot in the at the library, and then I went to the spot I wanted to decorate. So I had the right pressure on the bottle to kind of get the line as thick as I wanted. So I'm going to show you on here. We're going to make a giant flower on this piece of paper towel, just so you get the idea of what it's going to look like. Hopefully you can see that yellow on. Let's put a little bit of pink. I wanted you to get the idea. I'm going to add a little pink center and maybe go around the outside. It does on the cement stay puffy like this and thick, but it will dry on the cement and look pretty cool. I don't know how long it'll last. I'm gonna see, we'll have a test. I have a little bit of artwork I did right outside the door here. So now I'm gonna make some purple in there since I have it. Let's do a little purple. But you can see how it kind of just sits right there on top of the paper towel. And that's what it's gonna do with the cement. I'm gonna add just a bit more purple here so you get the idea. You can do lots of layering and lots of cool art with this awesome foamy sidewalk paint. Okay, let's see if I can turn the camera a little bit better and you can see my amazing flower that I just made. Let's see, I can tip this a little bit. There we go. This is my beautiful flower. So if I did this out of the cement, it's not going to run, which is great. It kind of spreads out just a little bit. It stays thick because of the flour and the soap. You get a nice thick art piece, and I think it's going to dry really well. So I'm excited to see what happens with my artwork out there. I will take a picture of that and post it here on Facebook in the comments so you can see the artwork I did outside. Or if you happen to be walking by the library or coming into the library, go check it out. It's right outside this door on Stearman. So, hope you guys have fun. I've never done this before, but I think it's a really cool experiment and a way to combine some ingredients that you have at home to make something beautiful outside. So, hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Borrow a Launchpad tablet from the Eagle Public Library. Launchpad tablets have learning apps, games, stories, and videos for kids of all ages, and lessons in math, reading, STEM education, and more.